Tropical storm Beryl, it's about to make landfall in the state of Texas in the United States, possibly reaching hurricane status early in the next day before it makes landfall. Right now it's a tropical storm, a high-end tropical storm, 70 miles per hour, and as you can see it's looking quite good, and rain bands are actually arriving in the coasts of Texas and then the large city of Houston, where it's a really highly populated area and could get flooded by this tropical storm. Right now positioned at 27.6 degrees north, 95.6 degrees west. And the current conditions, as I said previously, excuse me, winds of 70 miles per hour sustained with a pressure of 986 millibars, with a movement to the north-northwest at 12 miles per hour, which is 19 kilometers per hour. That's latest at 22 hours local time in Texas, which is 3 hours local time in the Universal Central Time. That's July the 7th on the local time in Texas. And this is what we are expecting from tropical storm Beryl right now. Possibly the tropical storm force winds are arriving on the coasts, on the southern coast of Texas, or at least tropical storm wind gusts. Right now with tropical storm conditions, and then making landfall as a category 1 hurricane, possibly 75 or maybe 80 miles per hour, excuse me, and then rapidly moving to the north and northeast, dissipating possibly by the next morning after making landfall, which is Tuesday in the early hours. But then severe weather could occur in the eastern Texas, in the state of Louisiana, Arkansas, possibly as well in the eastern tip of Oklahoma, Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, and beyond. Right now the distances from different locations in the southern coast of Texas: 167 kilometers to the south of Bay City, which is the same distance of Corpus Christi but located to the east. The storm is located to the east of Corpus Christi, must be said. 212 kilometers to the southwest of Galveston, 231 kilometers to the south-southwest of Lake City, and 253 kilometers to the south of Houston, Texas. We are code orange right now, as the arrival of Beryl is imminent in the next morning. And this is the wind shear levels. Practically Beryl has no wind shear, and it was a good factor for Beryl to at least gain some strength very gradually in the previous hours, after battling with severe weather in the Caribbean Sea, which affected Beryl before making landfall in the Yucatan Peninsula, but not really during its lifetime when it crossed the whole Caribbean Sea. And it's looking good overall in general, actually. So Beryl finally is going to be gone after making landfall in Texas by the next day. The sea surface temperatures 29 Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius as well. Pretty warm sea surface temperatures, and this also maintained Beryl's strength with a lot of energy, a lot of the heat. Of course, in the Gulf of Mexico it's a really boiling place where tropical cyclones usually get to intensify quite quickly. It wasn't the case of Beryl, fortunately, which was quite strange after all the things that have done in the past few days. But in the other hand, it's also good news that Beryl didn't intensify that much as it was expected by the models. And this is the sea surface temperatures overall. You can see quite a bit the cold path that Beryl left in the Caribbean Sea after being a category 5 hurricane, after making landfall in the Leeward Islands, specifically in Grenada and Martinique, and then crossing the whole Caribbean Sea, and of course emerging into the Gulf of Mexico. This is the radar imagery of Beryl. As you can see, the rain bands are actually arriving in the southern coasts of Texas. Heavy rainfall actually on these particular places, and will be quite severe severe weather and in the next hours, of course, with bands and rounds of heavy rainfall arriving in Texas in the last hours of today and the early hours of tomorrow. And of course the winds are going to increase gradually as it gets closer to the coast of Texas, possibly making landfall in the next 6 hours, depending on how fast or how slow this system moves prior landfall. Of course, we are going to have a live coverage here in our YouTube channel, so please don't miss it out. But yeah, basically heavy rainfall expected and high accumulations of rain is expected for many cities, including Houston in Texas, by tomorrow. Well, starting today actually. And this model, you can see how severe weather is going to occur during all Beryl's trajectory, including after being an extratropical cyclone moving to the northeast, of course, over the southeastern tip of Oklahoma, moving into Arkansas and many states, of course, that I mentioned previously. And well, possibly, of course, the tornado threat is also a key factor of damages and strong winds and sudden destruction that could occur in the coasts of the United States. And basically the track that this system is going to take after being an extratropical cyclone is where most of the tornadoes are located. So of course there's a high chance of tornadoes, possibly and EF2, EF1's tornadoes could occur, maybe stronger ones, EF3, which is quite rare to see in hurricane when tornadoes made by hurricanes, but still could be a possibility. And well, this is a resume of what we've seen in this update. The maximum sustained winds 60 knots, which is 70 miles per hour, and decreasing after making landfall, possibly attaining hurricane status before it makes landfall. And then the wind shear, it's completely gone, it's low, it's on its lowest level, and this helped Beryl to intensify a little bit and could possibly be the factor of gaining some hurricane strength before it makes landfall. But of course the sea surface temperatures 29-30 Celsius, but the humidity, it's so dry, so this was also a factor that Beryl didn't actually intensify that much as we expected. The dry air was all over the place, and this is one of the main reasons because Beryl didn't intensify it into a hurricane, since hurricanes survive by humidity, and this kind of humidity and energy, it's important for hurricanes to absorb the vapor that it's in the ocean. And basically that wasn't like present or presented in the Gulf of Mexico. I'm sorry if I didn't said the correct word for that, but well, wasn't there, to be fair. So that's good news in certain way. And of course we are expecting a rapid dissipation of Beryl. Not sure if brown ocean effect is expected. It's quite rare to see, but it happened before. But as soon as we are seeing rapid dissipation is expected, but of course severe weather alongside in the central eastern coasts or central eastern states in the United States, of course, with severe weather, tornado threat, thunderstorm activity, high rain accumulations, flash flooding effects as well. So please take all the precautions, follow all your authorities' instructions, and stay safe. We are going to be live in a matter of few hours, covering the landfall of tropical storm or Hurricane Beryl in Texas. That's all for today's update.
Become an ultimate fan today.